1.21 gigawatt! Welcome back to My Favorite Movies. Yes, you guessed it. On this segment, I talk about my favorite movies. Makes sense, doesn't it? For those of you that follow me on Facebook or Twitter, know that I just celebrated the Back to the Future Day by watching all the movies back to back at the theater. Yep, it was badass. And that really put me into the mood to review one of my all-time favorite movies, Back to the Future. I know I'm still in the middle of giving you my long overdue Star Wars prequels reviews, which I will before The Force Awakens premieres. I will also finish my Tarantino marathon. I haven't forgotten about that. And yes, eventually you will get another trash talk. I promise. But now let's talk about Back to the Future, shall we? Back to the Future is a classic among classics. I know I say that a lot, but it is what it is. The film was directed by Robert Zemeckis and stars Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. A word of warning to all you guys, this video is very spoiler heavy. Very, very spoiler heavy. So if you have not seen Back to the Future, first of all, why? Drop everything that it is that you're doing right now and check this movie out, because seriously, you haven't lived. You have not lived yet. The movie tells the story of the high school student Marty McFly, played by the one and only Michael J. Fox. He's down on his luck, he's so 80s, he loves to play the guitar, he's got his girlfriend Jennifer, but he's not that happy because he's really uncertain about himself, because he doesn't have like the most positive family life back at home. No, his parents, they're sort of unhappy with their marriage, and it totally translates and messes with him in a very subtle way. But his friend and scientist, Dr. Emmett Brown, asks him to come along to witness his latest invention in the middle of the night. So they meet at the Two Pines Mall parking lot, where Dr. Emmett Brown, perfectly played by Christopher Lloyd, presents him this invention, which happens to be a time machine. Yes, this guy built a time machine out of a DeLorean. Doc, you're telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? It's true. But that thing doesn't run on fuel only, it runs on plutonium to create the electric reaction it needs. So once it reaches 80 miles per hour, boom, you're back in time or forward in time. You're a time traveler, basically. But lo and behold, this Libyan terrorists show up, who got screwed over by Dr. Emmett Brown, and they kill him. Marty has no other choice but to escape in the DeLorean, and without his knowledge, he actually travels back in time to the 50s. Only problem is he has no plutonium left, he is all on his own, and he's stuck in 1955. So now he knows that the only person that could help him is actually Dr. Emmett Brown. Yes, his younger self, also played by Christopher Lloyd, who he convinces of the fact that he is a time traveler and that he needs his help to get back to the future. Dr. Emmett Brown tells him, we don't have plutonium, we can't get it. We need a massive amount of electricity to create the 1.21 gigawatt in order to get you back to the future. But conveniently enough, Marty McFly has a flyer of the old clock tower, which actually got struck by lightning in 1955, only a couple days from the point in time where he is right now. So they set up this huge wiring system in order to harness the energy of the lightning right into the flux capacitor so Marty can go back home. However, this is not Marty's only problem. It's not only about him getting home, no. Actually, he wants to warn the Doc about what's gonna happen to him, what the future has in store for him, that he's getting killed. But Doc is like, no, I don't want to know anything about the future because it could really mess up everything. It could create a catastrophic event that just fucks everything up. So Marty's like, but I want to tell you. So he writes a letter. And again, that is also not the only problem, because Marty actually stumbled upon his parents. Yes, he fucked up the very first meeting between his father and his mother. And now his mother actually has a crush on him. So he really needs to bring these two people together in order to be born, because he is vanishing from existence. I gotta talk about his parents a little bit. Crispin Glover, one of the craziest people on earth, plays George McFly. You see him in present time and he's a loser. He gets bullied by Biff, who's one of the most despicable assholes ever put on any screen ever. I hate this guy. He's a bully. And his wife, Lorraine, played by Leah Thompson, not happy with him. She's a drunk, she's unhappy. And you see, wow, they only are together because her father ran him over in the past and she felt sorry for him. But now that her father ran over Marty, she's in love with her son, and that's fucked up. But I gotta talk about Crispin Glover's laugh. I mean, check out this hilariously creepy laugh. Seriously, there should be a laugh-off between this guy and Jeff Goldblum's laugh from Jurassic Park. Who do you think would win? Anyway, so now Marty really does his best to set up a date between his mother and his father at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, which is the dance where they first kissed. But this bully, Biff, also exists in the past, and turns out he used to bully George even back then. Due to a set of circumstances, Marty actually influences George to become more self-confident and at a very crucial point in time stands up against Biff, decks him in the face, and yes, he saves Lorraine's ass because he was about to rape her. Marty actually plays the guitar at the dance, which is one of the most iconic and amazing scenes of all time. And right after, he has to meet up with the dog to, get back home. The dog finds a letter with a warning and he just rips it apart because he does not want to know about anything. But this scene is one of the most tension-filled scenes of all time. It's the clock tower sequence. Everything that could go wrong goes wrong. First of all, the cables, they're not all connected and the storm starts a little earlier than they thought. And the car is also kind of fucked because it just won't start. It's awesome, but in the end, Doc at last minute manages to connect the cables, the lightning goes into the flux capacitor, Marty hits 88 miles per hour and he is back. But this time around it turns out that the Doc was too curious and read the letter at one point in time. But not only did Doc Brown get saved, no, Marty comes back home and it's a whole new reality. His parents are happy, his father is self-confident, he's an author, an award-winning author. Biff is now waxing his car and it's just awesome. Marty goes back to his girlfriend Jennifer and everything seems dandy, but then lo and behold the Doc arrives again, back from the future, telling him, you need to come with me, something horrible happens to the future, it's about your kids. They fly off into the future and that's the end of the movie. Now I can tell you, this is one of my all-time favorite movies for so many reasons. First of all, the plot. I mean, that was the first time I was exposed to time travel, and I think it's still my favorite time travel story. It's funny, it's witty, it's clever, it's thrilling. It's all of this. Calling this movie a sci-fi film is not fair because it's so much more. It's also an adventure, it's a comedy, it's all these things combined and it works perfectly. The characters in the movie, all of them are great. The chemistry between Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd is probably the best chemistry between two actors ever. But the supporting cast also completely shines. Leah Thompson is great. Crispin Glover plays the ultimate dork. The ultimate dork. Name one dork that is dorkier than George McFly. And Biff. Biff is a great villain. You hate his guts, and he's really good at it. I even love the very intro shot where you don't actually see Marty McFly. You see his hands, you see his feet, and you just hear the news talking about plutonium gone missing, and you see the little case of plutonium hidden in Doc Emmett Brown's stash. That's cool. That's really subtle. That's not spoon-feeding the audience. You're like, oh, that's clever. They told me something without expositional dialogue. Awesome. The chase scene on the skateboard, the entire Enchantment Under the Sea sequence is amazing, and the soundtrack. The Back to the Future theme song, one of the greatest of all time. I can't sing. I love this soundtrack. Not only the theme song, also the songs that play throughout the movie. Huey Lewis and the News, Power of Love, Johnny Be Good, Earth Angel, all these songs. Great! Back to the Future is the definition of adventure family entertainment. Everyone could and should relate to this movie. If you have not seen, you're doing yourself a disservice because this movie is truly timeless. Oh, okay. That was lame, but I couldn't help it. And Back to the Future definitely gets the gold medal. So that was my Back to the Future review. I will try to give you the sequels as well, but like I said, I'm in the middle of a lot of things. I want to finish my Tarantino marathon. I want to review the shitty Star Wars prequels for you. And I also have a couple Halloween surprises in store for you guys. So yeah, be sure to check those out. So Back to the Future, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys as always for watching, and if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.